I'm freezing, guys. Welcome to the Cryptovader Show. I am now in a very beautiful place, which is Whistler, which is just north of Vancouver. So what brings me to Vancouver? Well, it is this great company called Rightmesh, and I am here because I agree with their mission, which is to bring 100 million out of a billion people, okay? Out of poverty through connectivity and through real use cases. Woo! So let's go in on the inside. I'm freezing, man. Come on, meet me on the inside. Let's go.
Welcome again, guys. This is another edition of the Cryptovader Show, and today we're going to talk about a company called Rightmesh. Okay, now this is a very unique ICO because I really like the humanitarian goal here. Because it has something that does good, and I think it's time we also do good. It has very noble intentions here of connecting a billion people through a decentralized mesh network. Now, this could be quite complicated if you don't understand technology and also network effects. But what it essentially is a mesh network is a decentralized network to provide access over the internet to many people across the world. In fact, it doesn't even have to go through the internet. All you need is for someone to have the internet, and then what it does is this person provides the internet to others. So this is how they are planning to connect over a billion people all over the world, and this is in a segment that we like to call the underserved. And they have very noble intentions, and what I'm proud of is that they do it. Okay, they do it, guys. You see their videos at their website, and when you go to the website so that you can go visit their website, you can see that they're going into Bangladesh now. Now, I myself have been to India and also Pakistan, and you see that in these countries, they're very populous countries. Okay, India alone has about 1.3 billion people. I think Pakistan has 193 billion. Bangladesh has 163 million. Sorry, this is million. And when you add up all this is about 1.6 billion people. So this dream is definitely achievable if they do it right. And of course, in doing this evaluation, I will be evaluating this under 6 different categories: sector, hype, use case, tokenomics, roadmap, and intelligence. And of course, this is the same formula that I use to bring 80,000 ringgit into 4 million ringgit over the period of 4 months, or 20 grand US to 1 million US in a period of only 4 months in 2017 and early 2018. So without further ado, let's go on ahead and look at what Rightmesh is. Now, one of the things that really impressed me was I was going through that video, and I really love this because they had a video on an apple and an idea, and they say if you exchange an apple with someone, you only get, there's only one apple each, okay? There's only one apple each. It doesn't really grow, yeah, because the apple goes from this guy to that guy, or it can go back. However, if you start exchanging ideas or giving means for people to exchange ideas, guess what? The ideas grow into other ideas, okay? It grows into other ideas, and you can exchange ideas with many people, and this grows and grows and grows, and this is called network effects. Because the more the idea is accepted, or the more that we can share ideas through, say, crowd idea or crowdsourcing of ideas, then ideas tend to grow, and that's how you help humanity, especially the underserved community, the community that's living below the poverty line. And there's a lot of those. There's over 1 billion people if you go in the South Indian continent. You know, there's so many there. And this is what I like about Rightmesh, because to me, it's basically an idea to connect the world through network effects, through the exchanging of ideas, through telecommunication networks or peer-to-peer mesh networks, okay? Which doesn't require internet access for everyone, because that is very, very expensive. Now, for us that live in advanced countries, okay, we can say it's cheap, but for people who live in the outskirts in countries such as Bangladesh, India, and Pakistan, they can't afford it. However, we would like to give it to them so that there is a germination of ideas to help many people. So helping the underserved community is definitely something excellent, and definitely something that requires us to look more at it. And if we look here, there are 1 billion people off grid now. This is from the Rightmesh slides here. 4 billion people lack internet access. 5 million people, need to be brought out of poverty. There are going to be 6 billion smartphones by 2020, 20 billion IoT devices. So these IoT devices and smartphones can actually be used in order to establish a mesh network, because in a mesh network there's an autonomous discovery of users, and that's why you see Rightmesh targeting people. A lot of people in countries which are very populous, because you can set up all these smartphones, IoT devices, and web servers to form a self-healing, self-regulating mesh network. Okay, this is what it's all about. So as long as we have smartphones, as long as we have IoT devices and all that, we can actually set up a network. And the more people that are in the network, then that is more better, because this works by the concept of the few that are fortunate providing internet into this mesh. Okay, so what it does is it finds a node, and then this guy could be a node here, and then it finds another node, and these other guys are not nodes, and they actually connect them all together. And I really like this project because they're not a new kid on the block. They've been around since 2014. They also have an SDK, a software development kit, that allows you to develop apps, okay? Allows you to develop apps on the Rightmesh platform. And they also have a product called Yo. Okay, this was Yo, and it's one of the best applications. They're out of Canada, in Vancouver, which is why you saw me in Vancouver. So that's really has really done a lot, because I've been to Vancouver. I remember Vancouver is such a beautiful place, and this project coming out of Vancouver is really beautiful to help people. So it's basically from me. I could be someone who is quite fortunate to have a good life, but to provide connectivity to you, and you provide connectivity to others, and we go down the line, and that's how we bring people out of poverty. So let's go to the website here. This is the Rightmesh website. You can see there are a lot of scams, so just be careful. As a crowd sale starting on May 30th, so this is how you register for the token generation event. And you look here, it's a very well accepted ICO, sharing moments that matter. You see, this is where they're going to the sub-Indian continent, which I think is the right thing. And you have here what is Rightmesh, uses the devices people already have, Android phones and IoT, uses Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi Direct, implements patent-pending switching technology, integrates Ethereum into the blockchains as a means of incentivization, okay, for people to use the network. And here it is with the RMesh token. So this provides a really good solution for connectivity. Of course, if you want to know more, then what you should do is really go to the white paper here. And this is also a good strategy that I encourage a lot of other ICOs to go into. They have the white paper. You can use the white paper. They have even the technical white paper, make it easy. They even have use cases, okay? And the most important thing, if you are like me, you want to go things very fast on the surface before you go to the details, you can even download their presentation deck, which I think is very, very good. And this is a place where you can actually know more about Rightmesh, decentralized mobile mesh networking platform using blockchain technology and tokenization. And you can read it here. Yes, you see this goal of connecting the unconnected, and because they have no infrastructure, slow networks, expensive data, and network interference, and Rightmesh is going to get rid of all of this, okay? finally making the utopian dream of connectivity for all a reality, which is really super duper awesome. So there's a lot of problems with access around the world. You see, no SIM card, no hardware, no middleman, no internet, IoT, and they're going to solve this because this is it. You need no SIM card, okay, because it already does a peer-to-peer connection. And as I said, this is not something new because they already have an application called Yo, which is already able to connect Android devices peer-to-peer. So it's not like it's something truly risky and it's coming out of the labs and all that. No, it is already a functioning product. Is that what they have to do now is basically to do more R&D and also to roll this out, okay, to roll this out to millions and then hundreds of millions and then a billion people. And you can see this with co-founder here, John Lightyear, field testing early prototype of mesh software in the streets of Dhaka, Bangladesh. This is another one. Co-founder is in Havana, Cuba, and networking scientist is building a mesh network in Labrador. So this is not the really rich countries. These are countries where there would be a lot of benefit in connecting people. So this very nice slides give you really a good understanding of what mesh technology is. Step 1, autonomous discovery of other users, devices, or applications. Step 2, this is quite cool. You find another node and these two will then remain connected, and then it goes on and repeats itself and connects everyone in the mesh network. So this way you see someone who's more fortunate and has a connection can now connect everyone else in the network. And you look at the technology here, you see it connects smartphones, IoT devices, and web servers in a self-forming, self-healing, self-regulating mesh networks. And it goes and connects and connects and connects. And Rightmesh uses the RMesh token as a utility token that will fuel network adoption and growth. And it's good because they have thought about this, right? They really have already thought about the use cases here among apps distributors, content producers, advertisers, consumer brands, NGO. Now this is very important because in my last job, I really did a lot of things on healthcare. I was involved in a lot of NGOs, okay, healthcare NGOs, and those are very important. This NGO part and also autonomous agents and program. This I think is one of the areas where I think they can get a lot of traction in wanting to connect the most number of users in the shortest amount of time here. So you can read this and then you can go and read the white paper. And let's go back here. Yeah, you can read about, you can go here to where the team is. Let's go see what the team is all about. They're a bunch of very experienced people. It's a Swiss company, but they're out of Vancouver. So this is Dr. Jason. He's left, but they still have Dr. David Wang, a scientist, Saju Abraham, Chief Product Officer. So let's go on his LinkedIn. I always like to go to LinkedIn and actually see who these guys are, the corporate leadership team. The CEO also left. Okay, he's left. So this is a concern that they have left, but Melissa Quinn is still here. Rakib Islam has also left, Rightmesh, but these guys are still here, and we would have now to look at the performance that they did during the pre-sale or private sale to ensure that they have a lot of traction, that will give us a lot of confidence going into this project. Because once again, I think the project is great. It's really great. It has something for a good cause, which I really love, because when you do good, you get much more in returns, and you also have the satisfaction of being able to give to people. This is the advisors, Daniel Gills, okay, statistician, co-founder, Finn Haven, Les Forsyth, co-founder and CEO of Song Lily, okay, Jason Butcher, founder of Parallel Payments. Yeah, this is another professor, Stephen Jesper, CEO of IM Solutions. So they have a lot of good investors advisors here, which is really, really very good. Let's see here, the founder, Zihua Wang, Chief Micropayment Scientist at Rightmesh. So this is very, very crucial, because I think that when you are doing good, then micropayments is definitely going to help with a lot of things, because this is how the poor pay. Okay, they're not like rich people. They might not have enough cash around, but it would be good if they have stored on their handphones a means to conduct micro payments. And I'm gonna just present to you some of what I did as a study on some of the possible use cases, because this is what I do in order to determine whether I would invest in that ICO or not. So let's go here. So this is what they do. This is the Rightmesh token allocation. Publishers get their tokens allocated during the pre-public TGE from existing token holders. Okay, so this is how they really distribute the tokens, and this provides incentivization for consumers to use the token. That's why micropayments are extremely important, because you can then drive micropayment solutions across your users. So one area that I like is that this is the perfect way to help the poor. So you know that Grameen Bank in Bangladesh has been a case study, okay, a super case study of how a bank can give out microloans. Remember what I said about micropayments? So Grameen Bank has been very successful in giving microloans to people in Bangladesh, especially to women. And guess what? You know, the poor, they pay, okay? They pay on time. The schedule of payment is very, very good. So it is something where when you serve the underserved, it does not have to be charity, okay? It can also be something that is very, very profitable. And this was a case, you know, I've been to India and Pakistan before. The best case that I see is this Aravind Eye Hospital, established in 1976, and now it's probably the world's most famous eye hospital. And what they do is they treat the poor, okay? They treat the poor, and initially when they started, they had like 20 beds, where 14 beds were for paying patients and 6 beds were for the poor. And what happened was there was a subsidy, okay? There was a subsidy where the paying patients would then subsidize the poor, which would get eye treatment for free. And this was to fight cataract, to prevent blindness, which was really a problem in India. It is still now. But then you have Aravind here providing free services to eliminate this among the poor. And this shows you that, you know, through lean methods, you can actually make money doing this, in that when we serve the underserved and we serve the poor and we serve the billions that are not fortunate, it can also be a money-making social enterprise. Yeah, that was the word I was looking for. And you know, I think social enterprises are the next big thing close to home. I recently also participated in ICO called Sentinel Chain. Okay, Sentinel Chain basically provides IoT devices in order for farmers to track their animals and stuff, so that it's not lost. And they've done very well, and recently they have also expanded into Myanmar. They're working with Myanmar, again, another country where people are not as fortunate as us. And this is why I like working with this project, Rightmesh. So this is really a change of paradigm from connected to 4G, 5G networks through connected to somebody who is already connected. It's about the fortunate helping the unfortunate. And when we help the poor, then we have satisfaction that we can never get elsewhere. Okay, so this is my experience in Pakistan. I was in Pakistan, that's me here. I was in Pakistan with Dr. Sania Nishtar. She's a famous cardiologist and former federal minister for health who started a Pakistani NGO, HeartFile. Okay, so HeartFile's job essentially is to help people that do not have enough money for medical treatment, because in Pakistan, there's this definition called the precariousness of life. The poor people, especially the poor who are on the brink of poverty, run the risk of financial ruin. Okay, it's totally financial ruin should they fall sick. So they're very poor, they don't have the money, so hard file basically pays for the poor people. Okay, they get their money, they're an NGO, they get their money from UN agencies, they get their money from rich people or people who want to donate, and this money is then given to the poor people. And she's very, very famous if you Google her, Dr. Sania Nishtar. And I think there's a lot of opportunity in this, not only in Pakistan, but only in Malaysia. And also other countries where there's vast amounts of populations, like in ASEAN. You can see the Philippines, you can see Indonesia. So this ASEAN is also another place where Rightmesh can target, in addition to the South Indian continent, because we have a lot of countries with a lot of population. So a Rightmesh in this case would be good because it would establish connectivity. Okay, it would establish a connectivity to the poor here, and then through our mesh tokens, it would allow micropayments, to be distributed to these people here, or to be distributed to the doctors that are then doing the treatment for the poor people. And through Rightmesh, they can get the connectivity so that they can go see the doctors, and then the doctors and medical practitioners, whatever, can be fairly compensated through Rightmesh tokens without necessarily going through the fiat system. Okay, the fiat system here, which could take time, could take approval and all that. And of course, the donors here could even donate through fiat or through cryptocurrencies. They could even be buying, our mesh tokens. And these our mesh tokens are then used to pay for medical treatment for all these poor people. In addition, you also get the satisfaction of being able to provide a mesh network to the poor people here, as well as establishing a mesh network also among the doctors and medical community that can then serve the poor. So this is what I think is really possible, because I like to think of these scenarios before deciding to invest in a project. Okay, and if I can come up with a scenario that means it's quite easy, then why not I invest? So are we gonna go for this or not? As you can see now, I'm usually not in my usual self, because the Rightmesh has humbled me. Okay, again, it has humbled me because it has a really good noble noble goal. So I'm not usually at my excited self, right? Because I'm really, really humble. But of course, when I see many people have left the company, I'm also concerned. So I just go in and I look at, okay, if people have left the company, did it do, what traction did it achieve? Has it achieved traction in its pre-sale or private sale, anything that came before this? And indeed it did. So minimum contribution, there's a token generation event. You have to go to Bitcoin.crypt0currencies. Okay, you have to get yourself registered there at Bitcoin.crypt0currencies. So I hope, you go there. And what do they say? We'll be conducting the contribution. And before that, the hard cap is 30 million. Hard cap of 18 million filled in 1 week during the private contribution round. Again, that is a very good news here. Pre-allocation round completed, hard cap filled in 8 minutes and 4 seconds. Wow, that is fast. So we like that, but you gotta go to Bitcoin.crypt0currencies too. In order to get yourself registered. So is it a yay or a nay? Yes. Is it definitely a yay? Because I said I feel very humbled by this project. In fact, I'm not as energetic as before, because this is about doing good. Okay, so I do encourage you to do it. However, understanding the token economies, and I have invested in projects like this before that wanted to take an infrastructure to a mass of people, but they really didn't have the humanitarian goals of Rightmesh, but still it was a network project also. So what I understand from network projects, and I like you to understand this, is that naturally the demand grows as people use the applications and the platforms more. This is really the function of network effects, and I like the fact that Rightmesh is really targeting countries with a lot of population, because this is how you can get the most of network effects. And when you have off-grid applications here serving a lot of people, and a lot of people find it useful, and then you really get the network effects, and this is when the value of the network will really go up. So this of course relates to the value of Rightmesh, and I think what is going to determine their success is really the use of the RMesh token, okay, the RMesh token as a means of incentivization, not only for the people running the network, but also for the, like I said, in the Pakistan case, for the poor people, or for the agencies that are now donating, or the rich people that want to donate to the poor people, and also the doctors that are giving the medical care. So they will have to work very hard on this to make sure that the use of an RMesh token is not a barrier to entry, because all these people are used to fiat currencies. But having said that, if they do achieve the network effects, then this is a true utility token, okay? This is a true utility token, and now there's not a lot of real utility tokens that I see. There's a lot of security tokens that are addressed as utility tokens, but that's not true. So this is a true utility token, because the use of this utility token will then give more value to the network, which should give a natural rise, inflationary rise to the utility token. So I will go for it. I think it has a strong team, despite some people leaving. It was started a few years ago. It has an MVP, that application that's already working on Android phones. And but we have to be a bit patient as milestones are met. I am sure the tokens will rise. So that's it for now. So I wish good luck to the Rightmesh team, because I think they're going in the right direction and doing good for the world. Okay, so congratulations, you guys, and yes, we hope to see you guys on the moon very, very soon. See, I'm back to myself again, guys. Okay, I am going to see you in the next edition of the Crypto Vader Show. So don't miss it. Bye-bye.
So guys, come on, head on right there and let's go and apply for this ICO of Rightmesh. I think it's doing the right thing. It's going to help so many people come out of poverty, and that is what we want. Go on, go ahead, and may the force be with you.